We call the Board of Supervisors in session for the Tuesday, May 31st, 2022 board meeting at 5:30. We'll start with public comments. At this time, anyone may address the board on matters of which are on the agenda. Please go to the podium, state your name and home address. Individuals wishing to comment on public hearing will be given the opportunity during that respective hearing. Individual remarks are limited to 3 minutes. Do we have anyone in chambers wishing to address the board?
Good evening. My name is Ron Schweitzer, 13490 Marcella Court, Dubuque, Iowa. I just want to thank you supervisors for having us road routes for the last 3 years, and all the answers and questions that you guys had to do, emails back and forth to the public and that. And I just want to let you know that we appreciate it, me personally and our Neat Riders Club. So we just wanted to give you guys a pat on the back and say thank you very much for all your time that you guys done for the road routes in Dubuque County.
Thank you, Ron.
You bet. Thanks, Ron.
Very kind. The Neat Club always shows up.
Do we have anyone else in chambers wishing to address the board? Do we have anyone on Zoom wishing to address the board, Kevin?
We do not.
Move along to proclamations. There are no proclamations for approval at this meeting. Go to the approval of the minutes of the meeting of May 23rd, 2022. Anyone see any changes or corrections needed?
I will make a motion to approve the minutes of May 23rd as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of the May 23rd meeting. All in favor signify by aye.
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 Aye. Next, we have consent items. There are no consent items for approval at this meeting. Procurement procedures, we have none. Public hearing, we have proof of publication, the public hearing.
Move approval.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve the proof of publication for the public hearing. All in favor signify by aye.
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 Aye. Next, we have the public hearing, fiscal year 22 budget amendment number 3. Stella.
Good evening, everyone. Stella Rundy, Dubuque County Budget Director. So presented on the screen is our third and final budget amendment of our FY22 year. So our year ends June 30th, and this will be the last opportunity we have to make amendments into our budget. So what's on the screen is the 1-page document from the state that is prescribed to us that we fill this out. The top half represents our revenues, the bottom half our expenditures. And in the first column, it shows the budget as it was last certified or amended. The middle column shows the changes that we're making, and the final is what we're proposing under the final amendment. And so you can see we're adding small amounts to our revenues. A lot of that is some pass-through stuff. Some pass-through grants. And then in our expenditures, we're increasing our expenditures by close to $1 million. And the bulk of that would be the first ARPA project that you had approved, which would be the 911 radios. So that's about $870,000, I believe. So I'm happy to answer any questions. Otherwise, I would ask that we open the public hearing.
Do we have a contract on that radio agreement yet?
We have the purchase order. So I have reported it under our ARPA reporting under our first quarter of 22. So those are ordered.
A motion to open public hearing.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second to open the public hearing. All in favor signify by aye.
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 Aye. We are in public hearing. Do we have anyone that would wish to address the board in chambers regarding the amendments? Do we have anyone on Zoom that would like to address the board regarding the budget amendments?
We have nobody indicating on Zoom.
Should close public hearing.
I will second that motion.
Motion and a second to close the public hearing. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye. go to the adoption of the fiscal year budget amendment number 3.
So once the board has approved and adopted it, I can go into our state system and create the document that then you will sign and then the auditor will certify. So it's not in the packet because it won't create the document until it's been, till you've had your public hearing and approved it.
The fund balances
Yeah.
worksheet, you've got the American Rescue Funds. When would that reflect on the fund balances? When those are actually invoiced, appropriated?
I believe it's on the fund balance already. isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
so
already listed there. I'm saying when will you show the decreases of board approvals?
So the first one is reflected in there. It's 869,629. And so under the next amendment of the budget, we'll probably do one shortly after the beginning of the year to start amending those in. Because those would be the biggest things actually that we need to address after beginning of the year.
On each amendment that we do.
Yes,
That's when those fund balances will reflect that.
yes. As you make decisions, we'll amend them in each time.
Okay.
So some follow-up questions on that, Stella.
Yes.
We haven't prepared any other contracts. We haven't seen any contracts with anyone. So we've made decisions and we've, come to, we've got final resolutions of some of the spending that we've determined is priority. But there's no contracts and they're not in the budget. So no one's going to see any funding until, what do you estimate?
I would estimate July we'll start seeing contracts. We're really focusing in on the next month of working on those contractual agreements. I know that there's urgency by the agencies out there and also the board to get those starting to move. I've pulled down some information. I believe Lynn County has sent me a bunch of their information and their contractual agreements and their monitoring tools, which are lengthy and quite good. So I'll be studying that stuff for the next month or so. And we're really hoping to get the contracting still done over the summer months that we had originally said.
Any further questions or comments for Stella? Be looking for a motion to adopt the fiscal year budget amendment number 3.
I'll make a motion to approve the adoption of fiscal year 22 budget amendment number 3.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the adoption of fiscal year 22 budget amendment number 3. All in favor signify by aye.
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 Aye. Next, we have a resolution to approve the fiscal year 22 appropriations.
If you
A
can put
motion
back to
to
that.
approve.
Pardon?
Sorry. Get it back on the screen. There we go.
I'll withdraw my motion. Did you want to?
No, I just wanted to get it back on the screen so it was up for everybody to see.
And these are all the state categories.
Yes, well, so we
Funds.
have to, by resolution, appropriate by fund and by department. So this walks through each fund. So you'll see the first one, 0001, general basic, and then all departments that have expenses appropriated out of that fund.
So it was less expenditures than what was budgeted.
In that fund, yes. So the reasoning for that one, we removed a capital project that we've been carrying forward for a little while, and that was the sheriff's storage building.
In the Fund 55 capital projects,
Mhm.
can you, since we have a moment, educate us on
Sure.
how the state defines capital projects and what's included in that?
So on the state form, it's a little bit different than just our departmental capital projects. So on the state form, it's line 27, and that includes most of our capital projects that we would traditionally think of, but it also includes like road construction. So they loop that in under the state definition as well. Our capital projects, I like to look at that as anything that's not a normal departmental operating expenditure. So if there's anything above and beyond, we try to, at least in the first year, make sure it's into the capital projects. If it's going to be something that's continuing, we look to maybe put it into their operations.
Okay, thank you.
And do you have anything?
The motion.
Have a motion.
I think she withdrew the motion. It's my memory. That the auditors
Well, the motion.
scoring it home.
I'm sorry, is there a question?
I don't.
You made a motion, then withdrew it. I just need the motion restated, please.
I made a motion to approve the fiscal year 22 appropriations.
I will second that.
Have a motion and a second to approve the fiscal year 22 appropriations. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye. We have approval of plats. There are no plats for approval at this meeting. Move to action items. Resolution to approve the hiring of deputies, assistants, and clerks. Of an engineering aide, which is intern, and 3 for Sunnycrest.
I will make a motion to approve the resolution of the hiring of deputies, assistants, and clerks.
I will second the resolution.
We have a motion and a second to approve the hiring of deputies, assistants, and clerks. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Next, we have a resolution to approve the Fourth Amendment to the Child Support Staffing Contract. I believe this is just a yearly with the Child Support Recovery Unit, right, Dawn?
Yes, this is an agreement with the state. We retain 3 child support recovery clerks as employees, and the state reimburses them for all their employment related expenses. So once those 3 come off our payroll, once they leave employment, their replacements will then become state employees. But we still have 3 that we do receive reimbursement for their expenses.
Okay, thank you.
We don't have the county attorney present. And this is under his authorization, is that right?
Right, these are employees of the county attorney.
Be looking for a motion to approve the amendment to the Child Support Staffing Contract.
I will make a motion to approve that.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the Fourth Amendment to the Child Support Staffing Contract. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Next, you have a resolution to approve necessary contract documents with Demer Oil Company for premium biodiesel fuel and ethanol blended gasoline, gasohol for fiscal year 2023 for the Dubuque County Secondary Roads Department. County engineer has reviewed and quotes and recommends accepting the quotes as submitted. Anthony, would you want to speak towards that or?
Good evening. I am on if you would like me to speak. So I fully recommend this. We took bids and 2 quotes, I guess, and Demer was listed as the low bidder for all these areas listed in the resolution.
Okay, thank you, Anthony. Any questions for Anthony?
Motion to approve.
I will second that.
You have a motion and a second to approve the resolution to approve the necessary contract documents with Demer Oil. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Let's go to communications. Have the city of Dubuque amended and restated urban renewal plan version 2022.1. Have a manure management plan for Jason Wolf, site number 2, number 71292. And a manure management plan for Miller Custom Hogs, number 67333. Believe both of the manure management plans have no changes to their plans. For a motion to receive and file.
I will make a motion to receive and file communication A, B, and C on the agenda.
Do we have the Miller Custom Hogs?
That's the one that's up right there.
Okay, and so That's the one that wasn't in the packet, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, I'll second the motion.
Have a motion and a second to receive and file the communications A, B, and C. All in favor signify by aye.
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 Aye. Next, we have appointments. For information only, and we'll move to personnel requisitions. Oops, sorry. Personnel requisitions, motion to approve the personnel requisition for Assistant County Attorney Grade 2.
I'll make a motion to approve the personnel requisition replacing Richard Kirkendall, who's listed as having resigned.
I will second that.
Have a motion and a second to approve the personnel requisition for Assistant County Attorney Grade 2. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Going to public comments. At this time, anyone may address the board on matters of which are of concern to that person and which are not agenda items. Please go to the podium, state your name and home address. Please be aware that the board is limited in their ability to respond to such inquiries, and Iowa Code prohibits the board from deliberating or acting on items not appearing on the agenda. Individual remarks are limited to 3 minutes. Do we have anyone in chambers wishing to address the board? Do we have anyone on Zoom wishing to address the board?
We do not.
I would make one comment. I would like to thank those that assisted Saturday with the highway cleanup, watershed cleanup along Highway 3 from Gillespie Hill to the city limits. We had 11 people with us that day. It was Wayne Kennecker, Alex Kennecker, Sam Kennecker, Jake Doyle, Cheryl Speck, Denny Murphy, Antonio Conley, Ashley and Matt Bell, Bart Peterson, my wife Sherry Butoff. Collected over 500 pounds of trash along the road. I'd like to reach out and thank all of those for their assistance in that cleanup. That was all I have. Anyone else?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye. We stand adjourned. Thank you, everyone.